Do you trust your crypto assets to centralized exchanges that actively sell your private information and front run your trades? Would you like to buy and sell your assets without any middlemen, intermediaries, or robots? Do you like paying slippage, fees, and having the price go up as bots steal from you on low liquidity decentralized exchanges? The solution is nodemarket.io. Set your guaranteed buy or sell price. No middlemen, no slippage, no bots ever. Buy or sell 1, 10, or even 10 million tokens, and you never have to worry. OTC trades are between you and the seller or buyer, guaranteed by audited smart contracts and no human middlemen. Nodemarket.io.
All right. Well, there was a meeting. They do a weekly meeting that I attend. There's two that I attend, a Friday one and a Wednesday one for Hypercycle. This one was a Wednesday one, but it normally starts at 6 a.m. And today, because of some flights and things that people were on, it started at 7 a.m. It's a 90-minute meeting, ergo, caught in the middle of it. So there you go. That's that. Hello, 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 hello. All right. Let's do some Q&A. If you have any questions, throw them out there. Other than that, we will look at markets. I was going to go into, we had looked at a while back the 13 fatal errors that managers make. It was a really good book. It came up this week a couple times. I don't know why it came up twice or something, but it came up twice in different conversations. So I thought we might go through those errors, those 13 fatal errors, because they apply in life. All right. So we'll probably touch on that. Hi, kitty. The big kitty's at my feet, so I got to pet him. That way he won't bite me. Good boy. All right. No. Just that tilling is coming, the end of free tilling and all that. But no, nothing that I can talk about publicly because, wait for them to put out those messages first. All right. Twin protocol launch is incoming. I'll even have more details probably this afternoon on that because we have another meeting with that team on Node Market. So that'll be cool. And I would say it's in the coming weeks. They're just working out some technical knickknacks. But other than that, that's going to start. We'll roll that out soon. But everybody will know what's going on there. So yay. All right. So we nailed that. We've covered that. Let's go take a look at markets and see if there's anything super exciting going on. CPI came in, of course, less than. Was down at 3%, which, again, anytime you come off of a supply shock, anytime you come off of a global pandemic where the whole world shuts down, people get free money to hang out at home, surfing the internet, gambling on NFTs and spammy ass crap, and ... Amazon gets overwhelmed because people that make $600 a week are suddenly getting $900 a week with free government money, and they're working, and everybody's got tons of money. Woo woo! It's all fake though. Well, it's real money at the time, But what it is more money units chasing fewer or diminishing goods. Why? Because everybody's going and buying stuff they wouldn't normally buy because they have an infusion of capital they wouldn't normally have. So they go and they spend the money that they wouldn't normally have on stuff they wouldn't normally buy. And for whatever reason, people don't look into the future and they think this is forever. I'm forever going to have extra money forever. And then the money runs out and the savings run out. Oh, and by the way, the supply of all those things that they were competing with the money they never earned, that runs out too. So it's more currency units fighting for diminishing resources. Microeconomics, small e, obviously, if supply is constrained, the price goes up. But those are non-economic price effects, and they come down. So there you go. Then you have the world going into a recession and the stock market goes up. Why? Well, because if the world's going into a recession, then clearly the Fed should cut interest rates, which is stimulus. Nope, no, it's not. Yeah, sure it is, because stock market goes up. And if stock market's up, that's good. No, because the stock market's going up because it's going up. Because dummies think that cutting interest rates is stimulus. It isn't. They think it makes a loose free money environment. It ain't, and it doesn't. Doesn't matter. Stock market's not the market. The stock market is not the economy. The economy can be in the absolute gutter and number go up in stock market because, again, we did the math. Only 1 in 20, let's see, of all the people participating in the stock market in America, it's like 1 in 6 or 1 in 7 people. And then you take that small group of 1 in 7 people, only 1 in 10 of those are in the group that owns 90% of the assets. And what are those assets? Only 1 in every 100 companies in the United States are even participants. So one of. It leaves like 1 person in 200 that actually makes any money when number go up, when the whole economy is in a recession, when the whole world is in a recession. And you wonder why people get angry that can't participate. And then you wonder why people gamble and FOMO and panic and do stupid shit with their money. Should be pretty obvious. People gamble because they're hopeless. So that's not us. We are not hopeless, but still, you have to factor all these things in. They are different bits of noise that you have to fine tune. You have to decide what noise you want to ingest in your investment models and to come up with your thesis for investment and what stuff you want to ignore. But you can say, on the one hand, you have the Jerome Powell, he's a liar, all the dummy brokers and analysts and all this kind of stuff that think that the Fed is a central bank that really just don't even understand basic, like common sense reason and math. But if they have enough dummies that follow what they say and they keep dummying, then other people will dummy accordingly. So it's a big daisy chain of dumbasses. But there's a lot of them. So inflation down. Oh, the Fed can be more dovish. The Fed can cut rates. Yeah, that's an incentive for me to go and buy. Not really. But the one and the one and the one and the one and the one of so many people might experience some slight improvement in their equity portfolio until at some point those companies can't push it off and push it off and push it off. And what is it? Delay and pray, extend and pretend, oh, we're going to be fine next quarter. You'll see. Well, then why are you cutting hours? No, we're just doing that to tighten the budget. Okay. But why are you doing? Well, no, it's, we're balance sheet conscious. What? Everybody's balance sheet conscious. No, we're anyway, all those stupid terms. Point is, stock market goes up, and to an extent, Bitcoin went up with this. That's kind of nice. So we'll look at that. But remember, if people are behaving for the wrong reasons, eventually everybody gets a case of act right. Because you can't lie about the data forever when, of course, numbers get, restated downward revised. And then people go, oh, crap. And then people start to, more and more people, even the CNNs, even the dumbest of the dumb, start to wonder, like, wait, if we downward revise every single time, doesn't that mean that all these numbers are bunk? Can't we use the same smoothing process the BLS does and subtract their BS based on the aggregate downward revisions? Oh, yeah, we can. So you can basically mark off every single time the BLS comes out with a number, 100,000. Whatever the number is, whatever their jobs, whatever their number is, you can knock 100,000 off of it every single time, because it's all basically bullshit. And they don't count people that fall off, like continuing claims. When people fall off of that after 40 weeks, those people are no longer unemployed. Do they have a job? No. Do they make money? Nope. They pay their credit cards? Car payment? Nope. House? Could they become housing insecure, food insecure, auto insecure? They ain't insecure. Motherfucker, they broke. Ain't no money. But according to the metrics that the government likes to push out, those people are neither employed nor unemployed. They just don't exist. So if you can't get a job, you don't count. Weird, isn't it? You just simply do not count anymore. Weird place we live in. Anyway, let's take a look at markets. All right, let's see. It's giving me the old spinning wheel. Let's see what we got. Okay, it had banged up pretty significantly. Let's take a look and see what the day looks like. Look at that. This was when the CPI came out. It got up to 59,150. Then 57.6, 57.7. And it's kind of languishing around 58. So there we go. Still up slightly on the day. Ethereum having a pretty good little run up. But again, these are very minimal and marginally insignificant changes. Still cool. So let's see. Ethereum ETF. My guess is the green light is the 18th, which is next Thursday. We'll see. Could be further out, farther away. Further would be farther. Farther would be the right term. Further is different. Farther away. It makes you wonder why there's both of those words. Okay. XRP, no one cares. I think it's laughable that Brad Garlinghouse is involved in anything at the government level. He's like, oh, we had a meeting with some people from the White House. Oh, really? They're meeting felons? Is that what it is? Or they're just meeting people that are corrupt? What is it, Brad? What did it take to get on that invite list? Was it just people that have stolen $1.3 billion from the public? What's the line in the sand to allow you to participate? Did they invite the Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort? Did Alex Mashinsky, Do Kwon, they get invited too? What about Justin Sun of Tron? Like where do they? Sam couldn't go because he was he's working for the government in a different capacity. He works in the law library at a prison. Anyway, all right. Cardano, pretty decent day. The Chang hard fork is coming. Will it make a big difference? I don't know. I doubt it. Is it a significant technical difference, a technical advancement? Yes, it is. Is Cardano great as a technical feat? Yes. Is their governance great? Their governance is pretty good. It's actual governance by the people. Are the people a bunch of kind of creepy crypto marginal weirdos? Yes. So is it a real fair, even sampling of the community at large? No. Of the crypto community at large? No. It's a bunch of cultists. It's no different than having a bunch of really good governance over at Ripple. Oh, wait. We just covered that. Or at XRP, for XRP, the token. You would say that's not a very fair and balanced unit of individuals. That is a weird cohort. Anyway, Cardano is the best technology project that no one cares about, followed by, I would say, Cosmos is a really great technology project that no one cares about. And I'm not sure that ever changes. Charles, the idea was to eventually turn governance over to the people. This is Charles' way of backing. It's not backing out. It's like at some point he can't be the boss. Like at some point he's got to turn it over and let people run with it, which I agree with, except I just don't see a lot of super bright minds in that community, in the ADA governance by the people community. I don't know. I'm sure there's some smart people there. I just ain't seen them. So yeah, he's going to back off, and then they'll still build products, and they're still going to build all sorts of stuff, but the governance is going to be for the people, by the people, all that. I'm not a big fan of pure democracy. I think representative democracy makes more sense. I mean, everyone's not equal of IQ. Everyone doesn't run as fast or do things as good as the person next to them. Everybody's kind of good at different things, or kind of good at a lot of things, or whatever, but we're all kind of different. I think the more people you get together, the aggregate IQ goes down, not up. Seems like that. Seems like, tragedy of the commons and mass hysteria and FOMO and crowd behavior and crowd mentality. There's a lot of terms to describe how shitty crowds are when you get them together. I don't know if anybody's been super impressed with the dumpster fire shit show that is Congress, if you live in the United States, or whatever your governing organization is. Yeah, I mean, pure democracy is a little sloppy. The joke is like, pure democracy is 2 wolves and a lamb voting on dinner. So yeah. So I just don't know. I don't know what future Cardano has. It doesn't matter that it's better technically. That's a beta versus VCR argument, or whatever, JVC. So no one cares. No one in the crypto community gives a shit about any of this stuff, really. Everybody just wants number to go up. So, and you know what? To an extent, I don't care. I mean, my DNA is not in there's not any of these projects that if the information changed, really significantly changed one way or the other, I wouldn't either look at as an investment or dump. Not one. I mean, if they made giant sweeping changes, fired original people, got rid of people, really cleaned house over at Algorand, really cleaned house over at Solana, and actually attempted to make it a viable platform, if the information changed dramatically, I'd say, well, we got to revisit it. It's not likely. I mean, it will not happen. So that's just, it is what it is. Well, an example is Ripple had a chance. Ripple, the company, XRP, the token, when all this crap happened with Brad and Chris, they should have immediately stepped down. The fact that those two guys didn't step down is an FU to the entire XRP community. We stole, we got caught, FU, we ain't going anywhere. And I guess they're under this delusion that people just really love them. The kind of people that love them are those XRP psychopath zealots that can't count to 17 and probably shouldn't be trusted. So there you go. Not my Teddy. That's the not my Teddy community. Not my Teddy. Man, there's heads on sticks. Your son's fingerprints are all over the heads. No, not my Teddy. Ma'am, your son admitted to it. Here is a video testimony of him taking us to where the bodies were buried. Not my Teddy. And you know where that forms, right? You have these communities where people get excited about the token, and in their mind, they've already progressed the price. So they look at XRP at 44 cents and they think, When it hits $589, you know, my 1,000 tokens, my $440 worth of tokens is going to make me uber rich. Be so rich, bro. So I'm going to buy everything. I'm going to buy every house in the block. I'll show you guys. I'm going to trade in this station wagon and I'm going to have something cool. I'm going to get a Lamborghini inside of another Lamborghini, like where the Lamborghini opens up and another Lamborghini comes out. That's the kind of Lamborghini I'm going to get because I'm going to be so rich. Because $589, because a cartoon fucking bear told me. What? What in the hell? That is the XRP community. It's a bunch of kind of psycho new worldists that think that 17 or 25 dudes that drive John Deere tractors out in the provincial areas outside the city are going to inherit the whole world's financial system because XRP to 589, because a cartoon bear and some cartoon riddles. It doesn't matter what. And so that's it. That's a cult. There are a lot of cults in crypto. Dogecoin, cult. Shiba, cult. You can't call the meme coins a cult because that's just spammy YOLOers that are hopeless, just saying, well, fuck it. I'm just going to gamble because what's the difference? My life sucks anyway. What's the difference if I'm one paycheck behind or two paychecks behind? But if I hit the right meme coin, I'm out of here. I ain't looking back. I'm going to move to LA. It's like there's a lot of weird lunatic. Yeah, exactly. Like assholes that got fired from their own hedge fund that start up other hedge funds, let's say in, Canada, let's say, and all they do is go on the circuit trying to pretend that they're Tony Stark, let's say, and they get a lunatic's tattoo on their arm, just as an example, just to pull one out of the ether. So you kind of have to always that's what's going on behind the scenes of all these things. So it's like you always got to keep this stuff in mind. And so fundamental analysis will only take you so far. Technical analysis will take you nowhere. But you need to have some understanding of these things because it is important to help you put together the past. And then you can make an informed decision of what you think the future might look like. Let's see. You see the AGIX to fetch ratio is currently at 0.48. If it's at 4.8, then what you're better doing is selling AGIX and buying fetch. If you can get that done, a lot of the reason this ratio is so high is because it's so hard to get out of AGIX. So I would just be careful that you're not stuck in the asset with no way out. It's easy to buy fetch. It's not so easy to get out of AGIX. Let's make sure that you can do that. Yeah, so that would be a good ratio to exit. Tattoos called art. What is Nance? What is Nance? Nance, I don't know. I need to know in relation to something. You'd have to ask. Please phrase that question in the form of another question. All right. So as we're looking at these markets, you just, again, for those of you that are dollar cost averaging, nonce. Yeah, I thought maybe she was referring to a nonce. What is the nonce? That's a term that has to do with the way it gets into a longer discussion. Look up what is a nonce in relation to Bitcoin mining, because it's a deeper discussion. It's a value that the mining rigs, that the kind of code breaking software that is the whole process of Bitcoin mining is kind of a code breaking in a sense. It's a bit of de-encryption / it's really number crunching. It's number crunching and number guessing, right? That's what it is. And so part of that number crunching is looking for a specific number. That's where nonce comes in. So you could say a good journey would be what is nonce in relation to proof of work? That's probably a better question. Let's see. Trying to make hyper shares, but keep getting message that I don't have enough Nance. Nance. You don't have enough Nance. I don't know. I'm not sure. We can ask Brandon tomorrow. If you try to make something and you keep getting that message, just stop what you're doing. Don't do it. Clearly, you're lacking in Nance. You don't have enough Nance, Lisa. But the exchange wallet wouldn't allow the trade. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to make a lot of steps. Okay. Anyway, there's that. What else is going on? Anything super exciting? No, everything's pretty quiet. So we'll see. Again, it's kind of like a who cares, right? So the headline CPI is down a little bit. Well, Jerome Powell and all those talking morons are just going to come right out and say, this doesn't mean we're cutting rates. We say when we're cutting rates. You don't say when we're cutting rates. Okay, Jerome. Okay, buddy. We got you. Let's see. What is the best time of day to send a Solana transaction? Solana crashes a lot, man. Solana's a crap network. Like, when's the last time you crashed 3 Bitcoin transactions or 3? I mean, it's just so stupid. Anyway, but remember, it's a spammy meme coin gambling thing. So just gotta kind of keep that in mind. I don't know if there's a time of day. When are dummies sleeping? Maybe. When do dummies sleep? That's the time that we do whatever we do. All right. So let's see. It's a good thing that you and Brandon kept talking to the twin and they agreed to let you help with the launch. Otherwise, Mario, they were not going to get to that anytime soon. Probably not even in 2024. If it was left to Mario and those idiots, it was not going to happen. And that's fine. Like, they have their business to run into the ground. That's good on them. We are hopefully a group of slightly more intellectual investors, and we try to do more cool stuff. Blast. The reason I'm following Blast, it's a layer 2 project that Brandon was involved in, doing all these cool things to get some airdrops and all this. And then right after the airdrops happened, it completely s the bed. Everybody thought the token was going to be super awesome, and it's not super awesome, and no one cares. And they have a lot of tokens to dump on the market. I thought, maybe at a penny or something might make sense. So I do watch it as a weird kind of layer 2 gambling play. But it's not anything that I would do yet. Let them dump on the market and dump on the market and dump on the market. And then maybe you look at it. I don't know. But it's a spammy ass lottery ticket. It's a lottery ticket. And if you win the lottery, you get the right to buy more lottery tickets. It's not likely anything that's going to make anyone other than the people that work at Blast rich. Any new news on the ASI merger date? No. There's no new news. We don't know what's going on over there. They don't even know what's going on over there. 7/15 doesn't mean anything anymore. July 15th, I heard Mario this morning, backpedaling, closing his eyes, stuttering like he always does, like a little stuttering Stanley, like an accountant that's been, drunk for 65 years and stammering like a fool. And basically just saying, we don't know the timeline. No ASI token yet. It could be future. We don't know. It's a liquid situation. Very flow. Shut up. Anyway, so there we go. There is that. All right. If I don't see any other kind of little cool right now questions. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. We got that one. We got that one. We got that one. We got that one. Okay. All right. Let's get on and talk about, let's switch our gears. Let's put our non-investment brain on, and let's try to think about, managing. You might not be an employer of people, but managing humans, managing relationships, pretty important, as well as just managing yourself. And you might find yourself making some of these faux pas. So these are the 13 fatal errors. And I got this book given to me. Well, it wasn't given to me. It was forced on me when I worked a corporate job. And it was dumb. We used to have these big meetings. We used to all get together. And man, they, like, all of the people, not all, but a lot of the people that I knew that were in that organization all went on to start their own companies, big ones, like big ones. So I was like, well, there's probably something to this. There's a reason why all these VPs keep ejecting and starting their own businesses, and they're quite profitable. And this was part of it. This was just part of the culture that was hammered into us. And that is, you will eat, breathe, sleep, and defecate, the 13 fatal errors. And so I'm going to go through those 13 fatal errors. Because if you find yourself making them, you can make a little course correction, and it will be one more accretive thing to your overall life, that's what we're trying to do. Little bitty victories because no one else takes the time.
Hello. You're late.
You're bad at math, but I'm giving you an A+ in confidence.
Just doing what I gotta do.
Extra credit.
All right. Let's talk about, should I put a little banner? The 13 fatal errors, including the typing of the word error, that managers make and how to avoid them. Yay. All right. For those of you that have not seen this book, you can get it. Well, you can download it for free, first of all. But what I would do, it is, let me see, Stephen Brown, W. Stephen Brown. So today I'm going to go over the basics of it, and then we'll see. There's probably a couple of these that we'll cover a little deeper, but the key insights from the 13 fatal errors managers make and how to avoid them. W. Stephen Brown, for those of you that are curious to kind of get deeper in this. And by the way, if you have employees, every one of them should be forced to read through this thing. It's pretty good stuff. Anyway, even if you're not planning to be a manager right now, these are mistakes that can help you be a better participant. I don't want to say employee. That sounds dickish, but that's the reality. But you have to learn, like every job in a company, before you can kind of promote and actually run the company. Otherwise, there'll be these big murky gray areas, and the fish will prosper where the water is murky. You don't want that so much happening in your water, in your pond. So it make you a better leader, a better manager, a better employer, just a better kind of participant. So anyway, the goal is to equip you all with knowledge that can help you succeed, not just in a workplace, but in just kind of a community environment, by avoiding these kind of most common pitfalls. The first, this one is just a life one: refusing to accept personal accountability. So as part of the play along at home, yeah, we are all managers. Well said. If you would all be so kind, each of these 13 fatal errors, I want you to write it out. There's 182 people. I want 182 refusing to accept personal accountability. I won't ding anyone for spelling errors. Refusing to accept personal accountability. Write it. So a lot of managers, 182 paragraphs, a lot of managers blame others for making mistakes instead of taking responsibility. Kind of like, well, if you didn't equip your team and they blow it, you blew it. Was it there are no bad employees, only bad managers, right? Refusing to accept personal responsibility. So don't blame anybody. Don't point you point one finger forward. There's 3 fingers pointing backwards, and also your thumb, and that's pointing kind of forward. I don't know what that means. Anyway, so imagine you're at work, or you're just working in a group, and the project goes horribly wrong. So instead of finding solutions, the person in charge might tend to start berating or blaming their team. This is bad. Own up to your own mistakes, learn from them. Also, even if it's not your specific mistake, if it's your team and it falls under your control, show some integrity, build some trust, and take the hit. It's on you. It's not the team. The team is a reflection of you. Bam. All right. 2, failing to develop people. This goes right off of 1, doesn't it? They all kind of dovetail. Failing to develop people. Good managers, good participants. If it's not my mistake, it's Nick's. That's true. That's true. All of your mistakes are my mistakes, Howard. It's my failure to reach you. I haven't reached Howard. The good managers, good leaders invest in their team's growth. You put the hours in the beginning. I had a buddy who manages other like math people. And he was like, oh, these guys screwed this up and this up. I was like, no, they didn't. He's like, yeah, they did. I can show you. I'm like, nope. I was like, did you hire him? Yeah. Well, then you did it because you didn't tell them how to do it right. They should know. How do you know? How do you know? Right. Inspect what you expect. Right. Anyway, so a manager or leader that never offers training or feedback misses a lot of opportunities to enhance the skills of their team. Right. So look for opportunities, teachable moments. You guys have heard that. Look for teachable moments to learn and develop your team. And when you're in a leadership position, help other people grow. Don't get lazy. Help them be better. The more, you can earn the right to be lazy. You just got to work hard. If you work really hard, then you can be lazy. Weird. Anyway, in the Army, we were much smarter than the Navy. We all pointed fingers to the accused. Until you needed to go somewhere on the water, and then you all drown. All right. Number 3, trying to control results instead of influencing thinking. Trying to control results instead of influencing thinking. This one should make a lot of sense, right? Because very controlling managers, leaders, parents, they'll focus on the end result rather than the process. The demon lies in the details, right? So a manager or leader who micromanages every detail instead of empowering them to think critically. You have to figure out where you fit along this kind of curve. You might be completely end result based. Just get to the end. I don't care, whatever it takes. Well, that's not the way either. Whatever it takes is not the way, right? If you over micromanage, like doing all of the things, then you don't need a team. They're redundant. So you have to focus on developing this positive, very proactive mindset and skill set in the team that you want to perform to achieve end results. Does that make sense? So don't micromanage and do it yourself. And don't only focus on the very end. You should be an adherent to the process. Make sure your team has the process. Make sure your kids know what they're supposed to do. Clean your room. I cleaned it. No, you didn't. What about this? You didn't tell me to do that. What is this? You didn't tell me to do that. Well, then why don't you go back and explain first why they should be cleaning and all the good habits that might create and the peacefulness that might create, and then explain to them what you expect, right? Set some fair expectations. Show them how you clean. Like, don't just give people an end goal, get mad at how they achieve it, and then don't go in and do all of it yourself. You need some balance. All right. Joining the wrong crowd. Oh, this one's so easy. Right? Joining the wrong crowd. This is number 4. Joining the wrong crowd. Managers can be influenced by negative or unproductive teams. Aligning with a group that gossips, sideline troublemakers, people on their way out, death march, troublemakers, right? All the different kind of troublemakers. You don't want to align yourself with a group of gossipers, people that are resistant to change. Oh, this is stupid. This is dumb. You're mostly everybody. Look, we're not all fans of change, but you should urge yourself. You should endeavor to be more open that a change might make sense and it might make your job ultimately easier. So, surround yourself with positive, motivated people who uplift and challenge you. That doesn't mean they have to all be yes men and a bunch of glad handing bullshit. It can be people that don't just agree, but they got to be positive. They can't be negative Nancy's that don't agree with anything. They got to at least be positive. Like, listen, I don't agree, but I think we're in the right direction. Hey, that's fine. So surround yourself with happier people. Just don't be around unhappy people. They suck. Suck your life away. They're like time vampires. Okay, number 5, managing everyone the same way. Any parent here knows this is not the technique, right? If you have kids, family members, you can't manage everyone the same way, manage all those relationships the same way. Each person is unique and requires different management styles. So treating all of your staff, your employees, your friends, your family members, your pets, as if they have the same strengths and weaknesses, that is a mistake. That is a fatal error. Adapt your approach based on each individual's needs and strengths. Coach to their strengths. Okay, number 6, forgetting the importance of profits. Is kind of why we're here. Do not do this one. Number 6, forgetting the importance of profits. Okay. Managers need to balance people skills with business skills, with business acumen, right? A manager. So here's an example, like a manager who's really good with people, but neglects the financial health of the company. That's a bad manager. It's awesome that people like him, but the company's bankrupt. Oh, GameStop. Anyway, how do you kind of avoid this? Try to understand the basics of how businesses make money. Keep that in mind when you make your decisions. Be profit directed. You don't have to only think about the profit. It's not all about the profits. It's mostly about the profits. But there are nice ways you can achieve that, nice ways you can approach that. So focus, keep the target, the bullseye is profit. Don't deviate too much. Stay on the target. All right. Number 7, concentrating on problems rather than objectives. Like the first thing to deal with, concentrating on problems rather than objectives. The first way to beat this, quit saying the word problems. Maybe you say challenges. Maybe you say obstacles, right? So if you concentrate on the problems, you're not going to get past it. When I was in the military, we were working on anything to do with explosives. It was work the problem, work the problem, work the problem, work the problem. Like, oh man, this fucking thing is doing this. Work the problem. Quit. Stop it. Stop. Work the problem. Focus on the problem. Work the problem. So do not concentrate on problems. Focusing too much on a single issue leads to a kind of a negative feedback loop, which you don't want. And then you start getting mad at yourself, and that's not what you want. None of that's productive. So you might see someone who only talks about what's wrong instead of setting clear goals. It is fair when you're dealing with things that can kill you. You want to focus a little bit more on the dangers, but again, give people workarounds. So if something is life important, life threatening, definitely highlight the problem, highlight the challenge, but don't focus. Okay, this is the problem. This is the something we need to focus on. Let's get around it. Work the problem. Okay. always keep the big picture in mind, stay goal oriented. And again, what you don't need in a situation like that, when you're concentrating too much on a problem, that's when the negative sideline, the Nancy's on the sidelines being very negative, that's when it can really kick in. And that can create like a downward spiral. Looks a lot like a toilet. Anyway, number 8, being a buddy, not a boss. Being a buddy instead of a boss. I assure you, everybody here has seen this. And most of you have fallen. This, why do you think that they don't have officers and enlisted hanging out and going to the same clubs in the same areas? It's very difficult to manage people that are your buddy, because if you're not on even footing, right? Like if you have co-founders, that's fine. Even footing, right? Hey, we're both bosses. That's one thing. But when you manage a group of people, your children, same thing. It's like, no, I want to be friends. Yeah, you have to be a parent first, a friend second, right? Being a buddy, not a boss. This is a tough one, because then you cannot manage. It's impossible. And then getting that position back, clawing your way back up to being in a management position or a parent position is really tough. And emotionally tough too. So, if you're trying to be friends with employees, it blurs professional boundaries. If you're overly being friends with children, it blurs your ability to be firm and stern and enforce the law. So you always, like, a lot of times you'll have a manager who might avoid giving constructive feedback because they don't want to hurt someone's feelings. They know how, this person, they get mad. They get, okay, well, don't say anything to her. She'll get mad. No. Maintain professionalism. Be approachable. Be fair. Be stern. Stern. And plus, it's a lot easier to fire people if you're not their buddies. Not that should be something that you go, I am the law. That's right. Okay. But how do you manage people if they don't know what standards are? So number 9 is failing to set standards. Failing to set standards. Okay. Without clear standards, the people around you don't know what is expected of them. They're not sure what they're supposed to do, and they don't know when they're not doing it. Clear standards. And then inspect what you expect. If you expect this outcome, inspect that. And then if you're not getting it, inspect the process. Right? A manager who's inconsistent with rules and expectations and punishments, bad. Set very clear, consistent standards for performance and behavior and have the people acknowledge it. Okay? That one's failing to set standards. It's a big one. I mean, that's one of the, if I had to pull like 3 out of this list that you absolutely must do to succeed in any kind of management structure relationship, failing to set standards is a big one. Like, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to do that. There should never, ever be a discussion. I didn't know I was supposed to do that, or I didn't know I wasn't supposed to do that. Ever. Clear, consistent standards, messaging for performance and behavior. That way, when you send them out the door, they know why. And have them explain it back to you. Tell me what the standards are. Tell me what kind of performance I want you to have, or we want you to have, or the company wants you to have, or whatever. All right. Number 10, making promises without keeping them. Making promises without keeping them makes you a dick. Don't be a dick. Trust is lost when managers, parents, friends don't follow through on promises. Don't say something just so that people like you. It's just you're not getting anything out of it. So don't destroy trust. It takes what? A lifetime of consistency to build up trust, and just a few moments to destroy it. So if you're promising a raise or a promotion or a gift or whatever, if you're using the carrot to dangle in front of your kids, whatever, follow through on it. Don't rug pull those mother effers. That is not nice, and it makes you a dick. Don't be a dick. So do not make promises without keeping them. Okay. Number 11, not listening to and using good ideas from others. Huh? Don't be your own damn echo chamber. Don't ignore the team or the people that could give you cool and creative ideas. You don't want to stifle creativity. You don't want to stifle motivation and innovation. If they're in an environment where they don't think they can create and innovate, they're going to get miserable and probably bored or go do it on their own. If you find yourself surrounded by people that constantly dismiss suggestions without even considering them, not good. Part of being a parent, a manager, a friend is not to just out of hand dismiss suggestions without consideration. And if it's a suggestion that you know is flawed, challenged, obstacled, explain it. That becomes a teachable moment. Use those teachable moments. Be open to ideas from all levels of the organization. NASA went out to like elementary schools and had them get the little kids to draw pictures of spaceships. Any old picture. There was no rules. Kids draw a spaceship. Why? Because they were so grounded in fundamentals and science and what they knew that there was very little innovation going on in space technology and design. And kids are unencumbered by that. They have society hasn't shit all over them and told them what they can no longer think about. Their imaginary friends are still there. All these kind of cool things are still there. And society hasn't beaten their imagination out of them so that they can just, turn a wrench or stare at a screen and look at a number for the rest of their life. So all sorts of really cool, magical ideas come from that. See? There you go. So be open to ideas from all levels in or out of your organization. Even people that don't have direct kind of product knowledge. It could just be some rando that's like, oh, have you ever tried this? Elon Musk was doing an interview with a guy about a rocket. I don't know if you guys saw this. And the interviewer goes, have you thought about just plugging those two things together or just like doing this? And Elon stopped in the meeting, like in the interview, he stopped and he kind of like, oh, I suppose that's a good idea. And they did it. Like, I hope he gave him a Tesla at least. Anyway, number 12, refusing to take risks. Playing it safe can be a strategy. It typically can lead to missed opportunities. A manager who never tries new approaches or is not open to new technology or is not open to new ideas, this kind of plays on the last one a little bit. But if you're not open to these things, you're gonna miss some opportunities. Be willing to take calculated risks and learn from the outcomes. In the same way, Jordan Peterson said something very interesting. He said, with kids, you have to let them do dangerous things carefully, right? Don't let them do them, erratically and in a way that's going to have them die. But if they're doing things that are kind of dangerous, but things that they're going to need to learn as they become a full-grown human, you need to let kids do dangerous things carefully. There is a lot to that. I mean, if you're apprenticing in any kind of craft, they will let you do dangerous things carefully and keep a close eye on you. So anyway, be willing to take calculated risks and learn from the outcomes. Don't micromanage everything. All right. And finally, number 13, and we can go into this in more detail next week if you want. Like, I could really break these down, but number 13 is failing to communicate. It should probably be number 1. But anyway, failing to communicate. Poor communication leads to misunderstanding. Don't handle things that need to be face-to-face through text messages. I've learned that text messages don't offer the dexterity or the fidelity to properly convey your thoughts. You can't even italicize regular text messages, which is stupid. I mean, why can you not do that? On the iPhone, why can't you italicize things? There would be like so many better, anyway, whatever. That's a whole other thing. I don't know what you can do it on Telegram. You can do it on Zoom. Can't do it on, like, Apple can't come up with that. We're going full AI. We can't italicize a word in a text message. Come on, bro. Anyway, failing to communicate, number 13. So again, poor communication, it can lead to misunderstandings, assumptions, leads to a lot of frustration. And people just come out with different messages, just fully different messages than the intent. A person who doesn't clearly convey goals or expectations or feedback is not someone that you want to deal with. Not really. So all of us can probably benefit from this, but prioritize clear, honest, consistent, and frequent communication. Whether that's people that work for you, people you work for, your bosses, your employees, if you're a government assassin, everyone. So these are the basic 13 fatal errors from that book. These are the 13 fatal errors that they categorize as the main errors that managers make. And avoiding these helps you it will help in your career. It'll help you in your life also. These things are really important. Effective humaning, just being effective human. We're all managers of something, right? So effective humaning is about accountability and development and communication and adaptability. So keep that in mind. Yeah, number 14 is not reading the book. All right. Have a great day. Stay in school. Don't do drugs. Don't do anything but poor, insolvent, drunk, strung on a meth grandmother would not do. Brandon, I'm sure he's wearing no sleeves because it's probably warm as hell. And yeah, I'm sure he'll have some great stories. He's doing some Airbnb stuff, so I'm sure he'll have some cool stories. They'd like try to build a tent city to his house. A tent city. I think I said that too fast, and it sounded like I said a tent titty. That doesn't even make any sense. I mean, I guess you could have anyway. We will see you tomorrow.
Are you tired of all the uneducated noise you're getting from the droves of YOLO meme coin peddling douchebag gurus out there trying to use you as their exit liquidity? Would you rather learn a competent university-level set of skills that will guide you in managing and investing for the rest of your life? Join us 3 days a week at Digital Investor. Develop your knowledge of game theory, cognitive bias, macroeconomics, monetary theory, investment theory, psychology of the crowds, and more. For more info on Digital Investor and how it can help you, reach out at nickblacknext.com.